title in the Joliet Central Symphonic Band. We got one more piece, it's a little one. About 3.5 years ago, I got the job here at Central, and one of the first people that reached out to me was Jermaine Stegall. And I'd actually never met Jermaine before this. I went to school with his brother Jeremy, and I had known his brother James. But always saw some really good things happening with Jermaine out in Hollywood out there. So we developed a relationship over phone. We're talking quite a bit about the band, about Joliet, and kind of a project came up, and we talked about commissioning a work for the band. And lo and behold, a few years later, we started our By the Sound project to commission new works. And people really came out and thought this was an important project, and it was very cool to see that funded. So if I could first thank the sponsors for that project there, and they had some reserved seating, but maybe they sat in other places, that's fine. But if you wouldn't mind standing when we announce your name. First, our By the Sound level donors, which would be Anthony Contos, Kevin Gordon, and the Gordon Family Foundation, Michael Kostecki, Quinlan and Fabish Music Company, Wesley and Connie Russell, Mark and Kenneth Schreiner, and Brad Uffelman. We have our By a Page level donors, who are Bob Rogers Tour and Travel, Anthony Contos, in memory of William and Evelyn Contos, Megan Gonzalez, Michael Kraft, Jerry and Janie Lewis, Dr. Cheryl McCarthy, Bradley Schaller, and Eric and Laura Spursdale. We have our By a Line level donors, Phil and Jacqueline Clark, in memory of Theodore Clark, class of 1970, percussion. June Corradetti Doty, Kathleen Dobbs, Edward T. Haynes, Senator Pat McGuire, Thomas and Paula Narducci, and Mark Turk. And our By a Bar level donors are Mary Cicatelli, Michael Coling, Robert Drasnick, Shad Hallahan, James Harvey, Mike Lutz, Annette Narducci Friedman, John Randich Jr., Bruce Renwick, Jeff Riley, Melissa Schaller, and Lucas Turhall. Our true and sincerest thanks for those sponsors for this project. So without further ado, we're going to bring in a composer, conductor, comes from Joliet, Illinois here, class of 1995. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Jermaine Stegall. Testing 1, 2. I know those people.
Not sure where to start, but they're throwing my baton. I'll start off by saying, like he said, I think from the moment that he got the job, it was kind of this idea of how could, I felt like I want to be, connected with anybody that's over this program. I've always felt like a special connection to the Joliet Central Band music program, and yeah, from the minute we started talking about doing something original work, and I threw out my idea of doing marches over and over, which he continued to shoot down one by one. But here we are with our piece Legacy, which I think for me, it's kind of dedicated to, the spirit of, it was a known thing when I was here that a lot of, people would come through and their family members and their parents or their kids would go through the band, and, Ted Liga had conducted the band, and he was in the band, and his son was in the band, and, it was kind of a cool thing to continue that idea of legacy. So that's kind of where the premise of the title came from. Also a nod to his name phonetically, getting that in the title with the letters of his name, Liga. Wink, wink. So we're, I wanted to maybe also, if I could somehow summarize, I'm not a public speaker, but I guess I am today, right? 3 groups of people. One, the students, the parents of the bands, and then also the educators. So I'll start with the students and say, obviously, for those that go on in music after high school, I mean, no one's required to, but if you do, my advice would be to just grab onto anything and everything that reminds you of why you do this thing, because of course every day isn't about, beating famous people or making tons of money. Like most of the time, life as an artist, not filled with tons of money, I will say. Also, don't worry about what's on the radio. Like with whatever is popular or whatever is, the radio stations are saying that this is what the kids want to hear, like don't worry about that. Like it's okay to love jazz and to listen to jazz and share jazz, classical music. When you get to school and you start learning about etudes and things, it's okay to whistle and hum them and be a nerd. It's okay, it's fine. To dabble in composition, experimenting with music, experimenting with sound, getting other players together. If you can find even more opportunities to play outside of band, marching, a jazz band, like whether it be your church or like garage bands, whatever, rock, funk, creating loops, whatever you want to do, be creative, try stuff early. I was definitely afraid of writing music when I was in high school. And I discovered that when in college, you can get your friends together and experiment for free. So take advantage of that. To the parents, my note would be about private lessons. Very important. My parents both encouraged that, supported that, as a thing that seemed like, they're telling us he needs private lessons, so here's some private lessons. I don't think that anyone really understands how far they go. Like for me, and I don't know where he's sitting, but Kevin McCollin, my private saxophone teacher, is somewhere in the audience. Way there he is. He's the man. He really helped me develop a special connection with really the intimacy between yourself and the instrument, becoming expressive, so that when I came here, worked under Ted Liga, it was kind of a natural correlation to, as an ensemble, being open to being expressive and the idea that music should be fun, right? Not just that it could be fun, but he really made that a thing. And over the course of many years, it wasn't like a thing where it's okay, I think he's had about enough lessons. It's like you could take the most talented student and really, push someone to the point where they're gonna be, changing the world in some cases. Even music can actually do that. It's a thing. And to the educators, I guess was the last group I was going to say, you guys are making it happen. I'm going to give a hats off hand clap to Don Stinson, who's done so many amazing things. Yeah, clap. With this program in such a short amount of time. He's such a resourceful, smart guy, making this thing happen. He's got his own podcast he does for fun. Like he's got a family of 19,000. He's apparently delivered his own baby the last time around. And you know, he's just a whirlwind of resources. This guy is the real deal and the man for the job for Joliet Central. So thank you all. Any educators in the room, I really I think that you know it's a thing. Whether you teach music or not, education, we appreciate you. Yeah, a little applause for the educators. So I guess we'll play this piece and I'll stop rambling. Oh, no. He wants me to tell you guys about this movie that I'm working, my next project after I leave here. I'm going to be working on the music for, I'm the composer of Coming to America 2, which is extremely exciting. Starring Eddie Murphy, James Earl Jones, Arsenio Hall, blah, blah, blah. All the guys are back. So excited. And, you know, this is the kind of thing that, you know, like I said, the dedication, the focus, the lessons, the understanding what it could lead to, the holding on to the things that inspire you when it is not so inspiring, when you're not making money. Hi, Corinne, is that you? Hi. Oh, Tony, oh my gosh. Minecraft? Yes, Minecraft. Oh, okay, no. I'm not gonna do it. All right, so without further ado, Jerry? Oh, see, okay, I'm not looking. Yeah, let's play this piece, I guess, huh? See what happens.
Coming to America 2 in theaters, January 2020, December 2020. But first, Legacy by Jermaine Stegall. band and audience. We're going to do a little meet and greet with Jermaine. He'll be by the Steelman statue, signing programs, and if you're one of our donors that got a score, signing the scores and whatever else you want, blank checks, stuff like that. And in this piece too, where Jermaine and I are talking, we're actually going to do a few little more tweaks on it because this isn't the only performance. This band up here gets to play at Lincoln Center March 23rd, 2020. And our program for that evening will be all four movements of Paris Sketches, second prelude by George Gershwin, Scarborough Fair, Andrew Boyson Jr. We'll of course be doing March of the Steelmen, and then we are going to be doing this piece Legacy on stage at Lincoln Center in front of 2,800 people. So we'll get at least another play out of it this year. We truly thank you for coming out today. I'm glad you were able to be a part of something special here. We can't play if there's no audience, so you guys are very, very important to us, of course. Our thanks to you, all of our love to you, and we'll hit the lights here and we'll see you out in the lobby. Thank you very much.